myself. My name is Clementine Audrey, and this is my partner,
Hello, my name is Juvita.
and we are from class AC. I'm gonna start from the first question. How often do you socialize with fellow students? Tell us the details.
I quite often socialize with other students. I have participated in organization and committees several times, which have led me to new relationship in college. And in my opinion, expanding relationship is very important in college because we never know if the future we will need help from other student and to socialize. We all really need good communication skills so that we can build good relationship with fellow students. Communication skills are also influenced by how our body language, the vocabulary we choose, and even the tone we use have a big influence on building relationship. That's what I apply more or less in socializing.
Okay, turning to the topic of finance, you said that you often socialize with other students, right? So, how can you be wise in managing your finances when you have to hang out to increase your relationships? What does it mean to be good with money? Please explain.
Being good with money means managing your finance wisely so you can cover your needs, save for the future, and spend without stress of debt, unpaid loan, and many more. To balance finance and socializing, I usually do several ways. Firstly, I usually set a budget for social activities. There must be planned so that you don't go crazy in using money. Second, pick the affordable or free hangouts like coffee or walks. The most important things, quality time to socialize. And third, be selective with events you attended. If the event not too important and doesn't have a significant impact on you, you better choose to refuse the event. Lastly, balance spending and saving to meet your financial goals. There is a time to invest in socializing, and there is time to save money. Even by saving, we can still socialize. It all comes back to our ability to communicate, and build good relationship.
So good, really inspiring.
Thank you. Now, it's my turn to ask you. Can you tell us your school years from starting for the kindergarten to the present time? Sorry.
Nice question. In fact, from kindergarten to high school, I was always changing schools. From kindergarten to elementary school, I changed school, and from elementary school to middle school up to high school, I went to different schools. In 2010, I went to kindergarten at Labora School in Pamulang until 2012. From 2012 to 2018, I studied elementary school at Arena School, which is also in Pamulang. After 6 years of elementary school, from 2018 to 2021, I studied junior high school at the Bakti Prima School, which is also in Pamulang. After that, from 2021 to 2024, I studied high school at the Mutiara Bangsa 7 School in Citra Majaraya, Lebak, Banten. After that, I studied at the Multimedia Nusantara University today.
So interesting then. Tell us at least 4 skills that important for the success of your study and why.
In my opinion, first of all, a skill that must be possessed to support successful learning is the skill to understand. Often school children are taught to simply memorize lesson material. In fact, the most important thing should be to understand the existing material. That way, students will not just remember and just forget it, but when students understand the subject matter, they will apply it in their daily lives, and it will become useful knowledge. Second, communication skills are also needed for successful learning. We will need it for presentations as well as communicating the knowledge we have learned to the people we met. And the third, The skill to socialize is also very important in learning success. We are social creatures who definitely need other people, for example, to form effective study groups and so on. And lastly, the skill to think critically is very important. We cannot just agree with all knowledge. We have to get to know deeper into the information and think critically in understanding the subject matter we receive so that we don't get the misleading information. This photo shows two people sitting at a table in a professional setting, likely an office. They are engaged in a conversation with a laptop and a desktop monitor in front of them. This image relates to communication because it shows two people engaging in a conversation, likely discussing work or sharing information. Effective communication in a professional setting involves listening, explaining, and collaborating. As seen here, with the woman pointing at the laptop screen and the man paying attention, visual aids like screens also enhance communication by providing clarity and ensuring both parties are on the same page. This kind of interaction is crucial for teamwork, problem solving, and decision making in any work environment.
This photo shows a group of 5 people in a modern meeting room settings, engaged in what appears to be a term discussion or brainstorming session. One man standing in the middle is leading the discussion while holding papers, gesturing toward the seated participants. One woman has her hand raised, possibility to ask or answer a question, while another holds a pen, ready to contribute. The atmosphere seems collaborative and interactive, with everyone actively participating. There are sticky notes on the wall and various work items separate across the table, indicating a productivity's creative marketing.
Now we're gonna respond the suggestion to help attract students to the school with the following facilities. Firstly, a new cafeteria. The pros is it will create a social space for students to relax their mind, take a rest, and so on. But the cons is it will take high cost for the school. And for the alternative, we can renovate the current cafeteria.
Second, pool tables. The pros is it will offer recreational activities for students, but the cons is might not appeal to academically focused students. For the alternative, we can invest in a larger recreational lounge with more activities for students.
Third, a new library. The pros is giving a strong academic appeal with more resources and study spaces. But the cons is it will cost time consuming for students. For the alternative, we can modernize the existing library with tech upgrades.
Fourth, new computers. The pros is the student can improve access to technology for coursework, but the cons is some students may already have devices. For the alternative, we can provide more specialized equipment that the average students doesn't have, or we can provide the computers but not add new one. I think use computer is enough to searching information for students.
Lastly, more sporting equipment. The pros is it will attract students that interested in athletics, but the cons is limited appeal. Not all students choose a specific sport as a hobby. For the alternative, we can expand not a specific sporting equipment like soccer field or basketball court, but we can expand fitness areas to appeal to more students.
For the negotiating an agreement, a balanced approach couldn't work best. focusing on updating academic facilities like the library and computers, whilst also marketing cost-effective improvements to social space. This would attract both academically driven and social activity students.
The school might need to balance between academic and recreational facilities. A possible approach would be to prioritize updating academic resources like the library and computers, while also making cost-effective improvements to social spaces like the cafeteria or recreational lounge, instead of focusing entirely on one area, dividing the budget to ensure both study and leisure aspects are covered could attract a wider range of students. Okay, for the last part, we will discuss about a question. The question is, what are the most important things in a relationship?
In a relationship, I think trust is most important thing. Without trust, it's hard to build anything else. Communication also plays a huge role. Being able to talk openly and honestly makes everything smoother. What do you think? Do you agree? Or there's something else find more important for you?
I don't really agree if trust is the top things for me. I think compatibility matters more. If you don't have shared values or interests, trust won't even come into play.
That's interesting. Compatibility is definitely important. Do you think it's possible to build compatibility, or is something you need to have from the start?
I think compatibility is something that has to be there from the beginning. It's hard to force a connection if you don't naturally click with someone. What do you think? Can compatibility grow over time, or do you need to feel it right away?
I get what you are saying. It can be taught to build something if you don't have that initial connection. But I think compatibility can grow especially when people are open to learning about each other's interests and values. Do you believe that people can change and adapt in a relationship, or is it better if they just stay true to who they are from the start?
That's a good point. I do think people can change, but it should be a natural evolution, not something forced. Trying too hard to change for someone else can lead to resentment. What do you think? Have you ever experienced that balance between changing and staying true to yourself in a relationship?
Yeah, I have definitely seen the balance. I think it's important to grow together but not lose your identity in the process. Do you think there's a point where too much change becomes a problem even if it's positive growth?
I think it depends. If one person changes too much and the other stays the same, it can create a disconnect. You might start to feel like you're not on the same page anymore. But if you're both growing in the same direction, it could strengthen the relationship. Do you think growth should always be a shared experience, or is it okay to grow individually in different ways?
That's a great point. I think it's healthy to have some individual growth as long as you will communicating about it. When two people grow in different ways but don't communicate, that's where disconnection happens. Good communication helps bridge that gap and keep you connected even when you are changing. Do you agree that how a couple communicates determines the success of their growth together?
Absolutely. Communication is key. If you're open about your changes and how you feel, it can actually bring you closer. Without that, you might not even realize how far apart you're drifting.
Alright, that's for our midterm exam video, and thank you so much for your attention. Bye bye.
Yeah!